Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to Soul Talk with the Soul Citizens. I am Griffin Gaming RPG, and I am back with my buddy, our long-lost friend who's been busy trying to educate kids in the country, Mr. Kelosal himself. What's up, buddy?
Those hola salutations, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff.
You were sounding pretty beat up about a week ago, man. Did you finally get a little bit of rest after all the educating?
It was tough. Gotta go 2 weeks, 5 days for 2 weeks. That's 10 days of testing, 4 hours a day.
Too much, my brother. Too much.
That was, good God.
Too much.
We wish that upon any educator.
Yeah.
But it's good to be back.
Well, good. It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. Hey, we haven't done Soul Talk together in quite a while. I think, matter of fact, I don't think we've ever done Soul Talk together. I think when we were doing Friday Night Live, we did that together several nights, but I think this is the first time we've done Soul Talk. So I'm digging that. I'm digging that Kwanzaa background. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty fancy. I like that.
Yeah, I'm doing all the celebrations. Got some more next, but yeah,
Nice.
I think this is my second time actually doing on a Thursday. I did one time.
You might have did one with
like,
Fast Card, maybe. Yeah, you might have did it with Fast
Card. I
Card.
did on a Fast Card, and it was on a weekday, and it killed me. So I was like, I can't do it until school's out.
Fair enough.
Because kids smell blood. If you tie it, they smell it, and they come after you.
They know, right? They know. Do you see what I'm wearing, by the way? Do you see this shirt? See, that says Star Trek, and it's red.
Yes.
This is the Star Trek red shirt, believe it or not.
Okay.
I actually,
So you're the captain.
I got this when I went I did the Star Trek cruise, Trek cruise, whatever, back in 2018, maybe it was 2019, I forget. But yeah, I went and did that, and man, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. It looks orange, Doc. Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta do color correction or something. I don't know, maybe I gotta color correct my lights. It should be red, but yeah, it does look a little orange now that I'm looking at it. But it is red. Actually, that's a good thing to match it up to. I'll have to fix that later. Argo, yeah, this is the Star Trek Argo shirt. Yeah. Okay, let me show you this, Kelosal. I think you'll be impressed. I showed this off last week, right? I ordered my because it's wintertime here in Chicago, right?
Nice.
So I've got my Star. Let's see, did I go the right way? That way, right? No, that way, other way. I always get this in reverse when I'm looking at stuff.
Got your toboggan.
All right, I got that. But this is what came in the mail today. I have not opened this. Okay.
Oh, nice.
But
Unpacking.
Yeah, it's an unpacking, and you want to. Ooh, and it's in one piece. It's not broken. I did shake it to make sure that I didn't hear like stuff floating around, but of course we have to show. Oh yeah. Oh,
Give us a drum roll, Jack.
yeah.
Give us a drum roll. Oh
Look
my
at
goodness
that.
gracious.
Yes, sirree, Bob. Yes, sirree. Came in the mail today. Yes.
Punishment. This is punishment for coming on this show.
Don't be hating because Aegis ain't got one yet. Does Aegis have one of these? I wonder. Does Aegis? Because you're an Aegis guy, right? Are you an Aegis guy?
No, I'm not an Aegis guy. No, I'm
what
a
are
Mist
you?
Man.
Oh, that's right. You're
I'm
a Mist Man. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You are a Mist Man. All right, Nihilus, don't start that stuff. All right. Yeah, you talking about a Mist Man. Talking about junk. I got your junk. All right. All these haters in the room. Wherever we go, there are haters.
Nihilus, you get exactly what's on the back of my screen, buddy. There you go. You get that person.
Oh, Lord.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
Oh, God. All right. Well, look, this is our Colossus Mug is better. Listen, this is our last Soul Talk for 2021. We're going to be taking a break, as you guys know. We mentioned it on Sunday. We're going to be gone till January the 9th. But we've got a lot of stuff this week still to cover in relation to Star Citizen. A lot of cool stuff, some funny stuff, some weird stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about all of that that's going on. I'm going to reference some things, Admiral. I am looking at what you sent me, and thank you. That is extremely detailed. So I'm going to reference it, and maybe we'll come back and talk about it in the show because there's a lot of stuff there, and I don't want to I'll be muddying up the water if I even begin to deal in that. But I will mention it though. So let's jump in. Good evening to everybody again. Kelosal, we got a lot to cover tonight. Let me get the right screen up because I truly have the wrong screen up. Boom, boom. Okay, so in Fast Card fashion, I'm not doing any poetry because y'all know Fast Card does his poetry thing whenever he's here. So we're gonna just change up the screen a little bit, and we're gonna come back to that in a minute. We're gonna talk about what is happening with the sneak peek. We actually have 2 sneak peeks this week. So Kelosal, have you seen them yet?
I've barely seen them. I may have.
So let's see if you can guess. Well, you know what? Before we do that, let's bring everybody else in because no, you know what? I'm going to show it to you first, and then you hold it. You hold it, and then I'll bring everybody down. Okay. So here's the first sneak peek that we have right there. All right. You keep it to yourself if you think you know what it is. All right. And while you're there, I'm going to bring folks down to the studio with us, and we'll get...
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. I already know what it is.
You already think you know what it is, huh? Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. We've got Admiral Kusanagi, Fist to Face, Go Mob, Pops in Space, and Spitfire Phoenix hanging out with us tonight. How's everybody doing?
Boys.
All right.
Good. You guys want to take a You guys want to take a shot? You guys want to take a shot at what you see on the screen there? Anybody want to take a guess at what that might be?
Scorpius.
The Scorpius. The RSI Scorpius. How many of you guys own one? Who owns one?
I owned one for about 5 minutes.
Oh, I do. Came and went that quick, huh? Even before it hit the hangar. Wow, even let the wheels get on the hangar floor.
Yeah. Oh, I got one of my buybacks.
You got you got one of your buybacks. Yeah, Spitfire. Have you got one or not interested?
Yeah, I do have one.
You've got one? Kelosal, what about you?
Definitely.
Definitely? Okay.
That was the only type of fighter that I needed. I mean, because I had a small fighter, I had a medium fighter. This is a heavy fighter, right?
No.
This is a heavy or medium?
No.
It's heavy.
It's
heavy.
Are they sure it's heavy? Is that confirmed?
They said heavy.
They are still saying heavy.
Ooh.
This was the only type of fighter. Excuse me, I'm too nice. This is the only type of fighter that I needed.
Okay. If they say heavy, I got to go back and do my homework because I thought it was in the medium category. Okay.
I thought it was medium too, but
I'll double check.
I don't think they understand their own damn category.
When they put it out, it says heavy fighter.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. That puts it in the category with the Vanguard. So, yeah. What is the Hurricane?
medium.
Theoretically, it actually was also sold as a heavy fighter, and then it was put in medium.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. Well, I guess time will tell. Okay. Well, that means that I guess that since we're seeing that, I guess we can feel pretty confident that we will see the Scorpius in 3.17, which it's scheduled to kick out in, because usually when they show us this, it means it's a patch or two away. So hopefully that means that we will see it. We've got another sneak peek for you guys to take a look at, and you guys give us any thoughts on this one here. Anybody got any thoughts on that one?
Are those are either hacking or mining modules, or
I was going to say hacking.
Proximity mine, because if you read the text, it says front towards enemy.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, the word.
I see the trips. Those are trips on it.
I didn't.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't give the word clues for these because it would have made them really, really obvious. But it says, "Last night I saw my world explode."
Yeah, those are trip.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting because it looks like
enemies,
it's interesting because it looks like that is the front and back of them. The front on the left.
Game Boy.
You gotta
I agree.
A Game Boy. But the one on the right looks like the screen where you set it, and I'm curious to see whether that's going to be something we actually can, diddle around with, set a time, whatever. That would be very cool if we're able
maybe
to
the scientists come in here, because I believe you have to have one that's like a mirror type deal to allow the laser to be tripped type deal. So
that's what we talked about before on one of the shows. But when they demonstrated it, they didn't have anything on the other side. So we were really curious. Yeah, they did this thing where they had like little crates floating out in space, and they had the mines out in space, and then they would like use the tractor beam gun to move the crates in front of the beam and show that it exploded. But I didn't see like something on the opposite side receiving it, because that's what we thought, Kelosal. We kept saying, well, there's got to be something reflective on the other side. That's how they work normally, but maybe they have some new technology, something that's weird. LDOC says a sensor trip. Maybe there's something spooky. I mean, of course, they can do hand wavium and do whatever they want to. But that does tell us that these are supposed to come out in 3.16, and now they're scheduled for 3.16.1, if I'm not mistaken. So after the team gets back from their break, hopefully sometime in January, we will see these. Okay. Any of you guys going to buy some of these? Carry a few on you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you a question. You saying, Are you worried about inventory space? Like, how many of these do you think they'll let people carry? What do you guys think?
I mean, maybe it's like 2 in a large book backpack or something like that.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't be that big though. I mean, it should be the size of like a lunch pail.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there's a small crate behind that black one that's sitting there, so you get an idea. But I guess I'm just curious about
crate.
Right.
I mean, you might have like, you might have 3 in that crate. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, will they definitely be, volume limitations, because there'll be some people who want to put 20 of these suckers on them. You know what I mean? And I'm just wondering, what do you think they'll allow you to carry? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So you guys think 2 to 3 is a fair amount that players should be able to carry on them?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Is that on you or in a backpack?
That's in a backpack.
In a backpack. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be honest with you. I would say straight up 2. I mean.
Okay.
No. Yeah, just strap them to, if those are the directional mines, just strap those to you.
Mm-hmm.
It gives the person sniping you a great target.
Oh my god,
that's true. Hey, you never know. They ought to make that in the game where you could hit people's grenades on them. That would be really cool if they did that. I would be impressed if they got to that degree. I know there'd be a lot of mad people in the game too if they did that. Who is that? Sam Fish Panda Ratum. Thank you for that follow. We appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next item on up for bids, and the price is right. Luminalia. We just finished up Luminalia on yesterday. Did you guys participate in Luminalia? Did you get your goodies every day?
Yeah,
I did, and I was thankful.
I did got the I did on RSI.
You did. Okay. All right.
Yeah. The only one that Go ahead. There's only one. Like I was cool with all of them, man, except for the last one, man. Okay. My face is still stuck in the side mouth. Like, seriously.
Okay, so the 12 days. Let me ask you a question. Out of 12 days altogether, how many days were you not happy? Did you feel like Santa put some coal? Put the Bandu put some coal in your stocking?
One.
Yeah, 1.
Okay.
Honestly, 1.
What was it, Phoenix?
Just
what was
one.
your one? What was yours, Phoenix? What was the one
that
day?
Last
cold?
day.
The last day.
Last day.
Okay.
Because the rest of the days, I knew for a fact that it was not the ship or anything.
Okay.
But that last day, which I knew better, because I thought for about 2 seconds, I'm like, there's no way they're giving away a free ship.
Okay.
But there was that 2 seconds, I'm like, and because it was the image that that they're going to use in the sale of that thing, and it made it look like, oh, we're giving you this.
So you have a handle in your hanger?
Did y'all get that?
The handle?
He asked, do y'all have a handle? The handle.
You have a hanger.
Remember one of the items was a handle, the picture of the handle?
With day 6.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
that whole situation didn't feel good.
Okay.
Yeah, did I handle that right? Can you handle that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here, I want to run something past you guys. Xylo did a post on Twitter, and on his post, he asked basically, this was 2020 to 21, what can we make better in 2022? And I responded to him by kind of rearranging his thing and putting some alternatives up there. So day 1, as far as I was concerned, with that jacket, it should be a full matching outfit, because none of the colored pants match that bad fella or the shirt, right? But I was hoping that they give us a full outfit, because remember those days when they would just give us a top and a bottom, and you had to wait 3 or 4 months to get the whole thing? I'm like, forget that. Give us the whole thing. Next was the little Luminalia Day icon. And we talked about this last week. I'm wishing that they would make those valuable beyond just saying that they're on Spectrum. But that if you get them, maybe there's some type of perk you get when you barter with the Banu, or when you go into Banu space. It gives you some type of cred. You know what I mean? There needs to be something other than just a Spectrum badge. That means nothing to me. I replaced the item that was on day 3 with a coin that would celebrate Luminalia, even though that's the old 200 coin, so ignore that, but it's just there for the idea. Some of you guys got the paint for the Alpha. We already know about that for the Mustang. Paint for the Caterpillar. But then I replaced the shirt. I put a shirt there for that wallpaper. That's a Radagast shirt. And I was like, yeah, Radagast, let's do something like that. Not a real shirt. Of course, this is all virtual items, but something that we could wear in game. The Aurora was the next one you guys knew about. There's another Luminalia badge that came up. Then I decided to take one of the items that's actually on the merchandise store and say, let's convert that to the game too. So that shirt there, which I like a lot, is I'm saying, hey, let's make that so that we can wear that in game and buy it too. It'd be really kind of neat. A lot of people were excited about the Banu knife, right? I think people said that was pretty cool. And then there was another skin for the caterpillar. And I was kind of thrown back by that double caterpillar thing. What did you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Hey, it's something we can use in game, so
yeah.
But I need to fix up that elevator.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The skin looks nice.
It's a great skin. I love. What is this called? By the way, I just want to make sure that the chat knows the name of the skin.
I forget what it's called.
Arctic something. Arctic something dealing with cold or something like that. Chat. Maybe if you guys go ahead and tell us what's going on with that, it'd be fantastic. But I mean, a lot of people were definitely. This color looks fantastic. I do want to go back to the knife, Griff. There were some people that were really upset that the knife came into play, because the knife was supposed to have been one of those rare items that you loot and find out in the verse with the loot out there. And so there were some people who were really upset with that type of gameplay being given as a gift.
Is it that knife or is it a different knife?
Well, they said it was a Banu knife. I watched Captain Richard stream, and Captain Richard referred to this knife as the knife being the one that was out in the loot boxes. I don't know if this is the actual one, but that's what I heard from his stream. So there are some people that were kind of miffed about the knife. I don't know if this is the exact knife. I don't know if this is the exact knife.
And that's the only reason why I'm asking, because you already see how many knives we have in the game right now, right? There's like so many knives you can't keep track of them. So it'd be hard for me to believe that there's only one Banu knife, and I thought maybe this was a common one. But we'll see. If anybody in chat knows whether or not this knife is the same knife that was found in lootable boxes, please let us know. That would be good to know.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, absolutely. Hey, FC.
Hey, I just want to say, I came in swinging like a Pokeball. I just gotta catch them all.
Oh God, don't sing.
We just got demonetized, not because you but because it was so offensive.
Oh God! Good welcome, Kyle. For those of you all who don't know, Fast Cart's on vacation visiting family for the holiday, and he said he would drop in tonight, and he's here. So we're happy to have him here tonight with us.
And I got my 1 month. I got my 1 monologue again, so I'm happy.
You're happy.
Continue on, please.
Okay. Somebody said something in chat that I wanted to respond to. Oh, L-Doc, yes. That day one sweater was the winning sweater from last year. You're absolutely right. That was some people mentioned that when it first came out.
It's a player created sweater, isn't it?
Yep, it is. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic if they find some way to put that into some type of ceremonial outfit. I mean, that's nice.
Yeah. No, L-Doc, don't get me wrong. I know it's not an outfit. I'm saying I wish they would have made it an outfit so that we'd have something that matches, because sometimes the color matching in the game is kind of funky. Like they'll say green pants, but it'll be like a lime green versus an army green versus a lawn green. So I was just saying, I wish they had just kind of filled out the whole thing with some cool shoes and some pants and, the sweater. And I thought it would have been kind of cool. That's all I was saying.
Some pointy shoes and an elf hat.
Yeah, you need some Stacey Adams with that bad fella. All right, that goes back too far for some folks. I know.
Hey, Kelosal, man, where your Alphonies at, man? Where your Alphonies at, Kelosal?
I know. Hey, what's up, Blackwater Goat? Good to see you. Okay, the last item I put in there, and I wrote this up before the last day because it was the 11th day when I wrote this up and bounced it to Xylo, and that was, I said that there should be a Chairman's Club pass. We don't know completely what's up with Chairman's Club, but I'm basing it upon the way they've done the Million Mile High Club. I'm assuming that people who are concierge get access to the Chairman's Club. And so, as some of you may know, that there are these private areas in the game that are not open right now. At one point, the Million Mile High Club was open. I don't know if it still is now, but there is a Chairman's Club, and sometimes you guys will see a guard standing out there with some rails. And so I was saying that they should give us some type of coupon, some type of pass that we could use either in game or out of the game. Now, let me explain what I mean by out of the game. Y'all tell me if this is controversial. Kelosal might remember this. When we went to Austin, and I don't remember if they did this in 2016, but I know when we were in Austin in 2018, they had an area for people who gave certain levels. So if you were Legatus, they had their own private area at the convention. Mm-hmm. If you were concierge, we had our own bar, our own lounge where you could go hang out outside of it was at the convention center, but it was like a deck that was open air with our own private bartender and everything.
And we're given different color bags.
Yep, they had different color bags, right, and stuff like that. So these were like the perks that those people got when we came together in person. And I was saying there should be some type of perk like that in the game too. But maybe for people who aren't Chairman's Club, people maybe they can come in, they can buy a drink in the Chairman's Club, or they can get access to it for a day, something along those lines. What do you guys think about something virtual like that? Or do you think people wouldn't care?
Other than the gold armor? We have,
the gold
but
armor.
Yeah, for some,
yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll be, for some of Luminalia, like they should, that'd be great if they put that, a tiered gift in there.
Okay. Hey, Squared God, welcome. First time chatting. He asked the question about if there's going to be a bad new hover bike. Keep dreaming, my friend. Keep waiting. Who knows when that might come, because we're still waiting on the Banu Merchantman, let alone a hover bike from the Banu. But who knows? Maybe it will come. Maybe it'll be here before the BMM to get surprises. All right. Well, that was basically it for that. Part of the thing that they did do also was this reveal, right? We saw this. Let me go back, turn that off, and let's see if it'll come up. Will the reveal come up? It's not coming up. That's weird. Let me see.
I hate when that happens.
Hey, don't you hate when that happens? There we go. Boom. Any thoughts? Any feelings? Day 12. Nice JPEG. We actually got a real JPEG. Not a JPEG in our hangar, but a real JPEG for once. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
It looks like the updated body style of the Dragonfly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It looks like the difference between like a 1996 Civic and a 2020 Civic.
I'm sorry. That screams Nomad to me. That screams Nomad to me.
Yeah, it screams Nomad.
It's consolidated with the hover. The hover pads are just like the ones on the Nomad. It never crossed my mind to think of it as an updated Dragonfly. That's interesting. I mean, get it now as you say it. If you were to modernize it and get off that rough look and smooth it out, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, like if you had a 1996 Civic, if you was around driving in 1996, that was a dope car. Right. But now a 2021 Civic looks way futuristic compared to that. Well, that's what that tells me.
Rise says it screams hover snowmobile, and I agree with that. That does look like a snowmobile to me.
It looks like an X1 for kids. I mean,
it was covered.
Those four wheelers that they do the dirt bikes, that they give for kids all the time, stuff like that. That's what it looks like, an X1, but instead of having just one engine, and has four hover areas.
Your only mistake in that description is that if you're going to say Origin, then it's for rich kids. Get it right if you're going to say that. Okay. Yeah.
I was trying to stay away from that name, but that's fine.
So are we all
poor kids that live in an apartment that don't know how to manage their money properly, so they have a really expensive car in the parking lot that costs more than they rent.
Okay. Are we in agreement that that's consolidated, or you guys think it's somebody else?
Yeah, that's consolidated.
Yeah, I'll say that.
That is clearly
consolidated.
I think the logo. I think if you blow it up, the consolidated logo is somewhere on there. Somebody was saying that.
I tried looking for it. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. I was really going by the hover pads underneath, just because they kind of mirrored the Nomads. That was the only thing that really, for me, gave it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the style of the aesthetics. That's consolidated. That's the Nomad through and through right there. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that gets me about this is that I was trying to keep my hangar free of a screenshot. So when I saw this today on my phone, I tried to click on more information, but it went to a 404 page. So I went ahead and get it, not knowing that it was just a screenshot. So well.
The 404 page.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, that was part of the celebration, right? With this whole Luminalia thing, there was this whole. Whoops! I hit the wrong button. There was this whole thing about celebrating and gift giving. Let me ask the question: Did you guys? I hate to ask this. Did you guys give any gifts? Everybody's quiet. Everybody's quiet. Nobody said anything. Did anybody? No, I'm talking about for Luminalia. Did anybody give any gifts? None of you guys. Y'all just ran around and collected gifts and kept them to yourselves.
It's a shame.
I gave the gifts to the admin office for money.
You humans! Oh my god! Okay, all right. So nobody.
I gave the gift of laughter. How about that? I gave the gift of laughter.
Oh my god! Yeah, you laughed all the way to the bank. Is what you did. You guys didn't do any of the Luminalia giving. Okay, all right. Let's get out of here. Okay, Admiral Kusanagi, you're buzzing. Whatever that is. I think his audio is doing that. He muted himself. All right, so nobody, because the Luminalia was a one-sided gift. All right, we'll go with that. All right, let's talk about somebody else who had celebrated end of year, and that was one of our friends, one of our favorite people. Let's see if I can bring them up real quick here. Am I on the right page? No, I'm on the wrong page. That's why my stuff's not coming up. There we go. Here we go. Boom. Massively Overpowered Awards. If you guys know anything about Massively, every year they do the worst MMO business model. And this year, as usual, the worst business model was Star Citizen and crypto scamming. Those were the two worst business models that massively Why are you looking like that, Kelosal? Why are you looking like that?
I just love it when they come around here and they create these fictitious superlatives, especially one of a corporation that has $500 million in revenue right now. It just makes no sense to me that Star Citizen would end up on this thing. But way to go, Massively Overpowered Awards.
Would you mind reading this for the folks that are in chat, and then we'll get their feelings on it? Read what Andy McAdams has to say there. Can you see it okay?
I'll struggle, but I'll read whatever worse this is. Andy McAdams, Star Citizen Crypto, Ashes of Creation. I have zero problems continuing to give worse business model to the game that continues to sell pipe dreams to people without actually delivering anything, while still somehow managing to maintain a cult-like following of devotees. Cult-like following. That's toxic. I fully expect Star Citizen will announce its first NFT ship sale in 2022. Star Citizen Scammery, is it Scammery?
Mm-hmm.
And Crypto NFT Scammery are like a match made in heaven. Definitely the worst business model. Well, if anything makes money, that is your definition of the worst business model. Way to go, buddy! Pull down your website.
All right, let me start with Admiral Kusanagi. Admiral, any thoughts about getting that award again for another year?
I think it's just obvious that they don't know what they're. They should just close their website, like Kelosal said, because if they can't figure out to go through the amount of money that we made, not just this year, but over the course of the company, $400+ million.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that's a bad business model. They must be working for Amazon, because I don't understand where they're coming from. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
So
how did they get away with saying delivering nothing?
It's because they haven't tried the game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's and they're saying cult-like following of devotees. I'm there's a lot of new players from ED and EVE who have come in, especially this year, and have been wow, this is really cool for a quote unquote unfinished game. It's the site. The sites and sites you can go to and all that stuff is just amazing. You just sit on a planet or a moon and just watch the sunrise.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, but obviously you can just look at just this one paragraph and see there's nothing significant here.
Yeah, they have nothing to go off of.
It's nothing significant here. So it's one of these types of websites that we give clout to that we probably shouldn't, because they just don't deserve the type of paper that they even writing on.
Mm-hmm.
And they just find some way to just go ahead and try to go ahead and at least pinch a nerve.
Yeah.
So they can say, look, we did it, and somebody put us on here. So it's kudos to Massive Overpowered Awards for showing how overpoweredly inawkward and inadequate they are with this type of award. I'm quite sure they'll send CIG the gift through the mail.
Yeah.
What's funny is this could be 5 years old. This award right here could be the future. Who do we think was going to be the worst MMO business model 5 years from now? This could have been from 2016, and then this could have been their future thing. And there's nothing new about it. There's nothing that says that Star Citizen hasn't gone leaps and bounds over where it was in 2016. This literally could have been in someone's drawer.
Yeah. Now, there's another reason why I showed this. Fast Car, were you going to say something, and I'll talk about, or who was it? Was it Pops?
It was me.
Go ahead, Pops.
No, it's funny. The two games that are in here, I'm a lifetime member of Ashes of Creation, me and my son, and Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
And what we actually found out about Star Citizen from Ashes of Creation through Kickstarter is how we first heard of it. But it's just funny how both of these are in open development, and both of these, they're the way that they're doing the game, if they succeed, both of these games will turn the gaming industry upside down. Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling that's the reason why they're on there.
Okay. Spitfire, any thoughts about Massively's once again giving us this award? Yep, we might have lost Spitfire.
I'm gonna jump in and just kind of keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, go ahead.
Clickbait.
Clickbait. Okay. FC, any thoughts?
It's kind of hard for me to call it clickbait because you have to actually click on it before you see Star Citizen. But I mean, once you get around, people will know that they did name Star Citizen. So yeah, but perhaps he's right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they have historically Massively has put Star Citizen up every year. And the reason why I wanted to put them up, there is a method to the madness where I want to put them up, because Kelosal kind of touched on it a little bit. I put it up because those are their numbers. That was from the annual report. It just came out. You guys can find it on Cloud Imperium's website. It's not on the Robert Space Industry site. It's on the Cloud Imperium site. Every year, CIG posts this. And what you're seeing there is obvious over the past years, virtually continual growth. A little bit of stagnation there at one point, but there was growth. And as you can see within that last bar is 2020. Now, you won't see 2021's numbers until next year, gang, so keep that in mind. But we know how well 2021 has done. But to Colosal's point, it's very difficult to claim this is a bad business model. Now, in the early years, there were a lot of people who called it a scary business model, because it was untried. We had not seen anybody do something on the scale of it. There were a lot of games that came out, early access, whatever, that never got completed, that people kickstarted, got into, people spent money, and they didn't see the game. Chronicles of Lyria, a lot of people excited about that game, went down the drain. They've gotten their money back. So in the early days, there was some nervousness, right, about this whole idea of selling not just the game, but particularly virtual ships. That was one thing to sell a game and an idea. It's another thing that you're selling these ships, and these ships aren't even in the game yet. But now, as Kelosal said, over the years, there's enough evidence there to say that there's business model that it's continuing to grow. And go ahead, and from players and money, both. Go ahead, Kelosal.
Right, and this is just a summary from their own from Cloud Imperium's website. In 2020, Cloud Imperium continued to grow its expenses and company profile. Cost increased by 10% over 2019 to $74.8 million, and the capital expenditure at $6.1 million was 150% up on 2019, impacted by the purchase of the perpetual company, CryEngine, and things like that. So you can look at the summary. These guys are doing quite well for themselves. And like I said, if their marketing is one of the worst marketings in the face of the world, then my name is Lou Berta spelled backwards.
Now, Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to say, did it follow like mobile gaming business model? Because if they did, Star Citizen, for a bad business model, wouldn't even be in the top 10.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. It's just PC that they do when they do this one.
So I'm looking at the reader poll that they have up, and you can vote to see where it's at. And right now, Star Citizen is first place with 680 votes, 32%, and then Anything Crypto is in second place with 570. So not only do the readers that listen to these guys kind of like, oh yeah, that must be the case, Star Citizen, blah 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 blah. It's like that's just what and you see these some of these like space gamers who've come into Star Citizen lately, and they're like, wow, I always thought it was like kind of like just fluff, and they were all pretty shocked at like how good the game is. But this still shows that there's a population in the gaming community that just aren't really told the truth.
Yeah. And I want to go respond to something that, and I just swear to God, I understand your point, because he says, we shouldn't give these guys any more light. And I know Kelosal referenced it, but there is a reason why I am giving these people light. It is because Massively has been every year saying this, every year, no matter what comes out, no matter what's done, every year they do it. I'm actually doing it so that we hold them accountable and don't let them dip out in the dark. When the game does come out, then all of a sudden they're quiet as a peep. I want to call them out, because that's why I'm showing the evidence of the numbers right now. It's like, you can't argue with the numbers, right? As Kelosal said, if you call that a bad business model, you may not like the business model. You may not think that the way they're doing it is ethical or whatever it is you want to say. But if you're trying to define it as, is a business model failing, that's when you talk about a bad business model. When something does not come out, or when funding can't be made, not when a game is every year increasing, both in its numerics as far as income number wise, and also as far as players go. So that's why I'm picking on Massively, because they have really been on this every year. And like you said, Kelosal, when you read their reasons why, it's nothing there. There's never anything there of substance that says that, well, we did this, that, and the other. That's basically it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go Matt.
Truth and facts will never be louder than an agenda and a narrative.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm sorry. Chris Neal actually said dual universe, and that he's the one that covered Star Citizen. Yep. So the guy that actually covered Star Citizen didn't say Star Citizen.
That's right, he didn't. And Chris Neal does do a fair reporting on Star Citizen. He doesn't go pro or con. He just reports on what the status of the game is, and he's talked about that. And that there are people there at Massively who, in a way, seems like they just have an axe to grind against this game, regardless of what the facts are. Now, I want to touch on one last thing in relation to this. Do you think, because I want to go on something that Pop said, do you think that there are forces who want to see this fail because it may change the industry?
I'm going to jump in.
Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because many of these magazines and publications are owned or subsidiaries of other gaming companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is that a possibility?
Sure. Yes. Yeah, of course. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. We saw this starting with Forbes several years ago. What in the hell has Forbes got to do with this, right? And Forbes comes in and says some stupid, chaotic stuff. We already saw the writing on the wall when Forbes put out that crap. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it just spirals down to these other companies. Yes, absolutely. These companies are, I hate to use the word, but conspiring with each other against Star Citizen or CIG to keep them from moving the business into a new era. And I mean, there are a lot of things here that a lot of companies aren't trying. And a lot of companies aren't trying. One, because they don't have the support. And to have the type of support that they have from its backers, you normally don't see that. But if companies allow its backers to come in and at least help out, even with financially, and stop allowing these other people who come in and talk about they want to invest in the game. And as soon as they invest $8 million, they want the game to come out in 24 days. You know, and you got a crappy product. I'm not even going to name half of the games that I can name from this year, from 2021. They put a lot of disastrous games this year because of the freaking investors. Yeah. So if that's going to be the case, yes, you're going to have some of these companies come in through third party or through third dealings of their own, try to hide themselves underneath these smaller published works to go ahead and do their dirty work for them. Shame on them. You got to, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they have a stocking full of coal on their Christmas mantle, because that's exactly what they're dishing out.
Yeah, can I say something?
Sure.
That, when you look at what happened it was a great game, promising game. Anthem.
What
they did to that
game. I'm not gonna name it.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you, Dad, for rehashing that.
Yeah, what they did to that game was horrible. And now, when these Ashes of Creation and Star Citizen come out, and they're not that Star Citizen is held to the players, because it's Chris Roberts' game. We're playing his game, and we're dependent on Chris Roberts, where he wants to go and what he wants to. And I think he's doing a great job holding his guns and where they're going with the Ashes creation. It's people that came in, heard it, believed in it, and that business model scares companies like EA to death, and out of their hands and into the hands of the people where it should be, not an investor.
Yeah,
right. And to go to it just real quick, and to go to it, it really kind of puts, like you said, that fear on them that they just can't throw out any old thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
there's an interesting dynamic here. We're talking about these games that have come out that didn't do well, and I know we've talked about this before. How some of the AAA companies have the companies that we always trusted and always knew when they put something out, we just had a certain expectation that those games would be good. And we've seen, like Kelosal said, we've seen some failures with those games. Star Citizen, again, for those of you who remember back in the day, this was novel. This was not something that, everybody was doing. They were doing something very different. And the fact that there was this immediate response from a player base that responded favorably to it was part of the problem, because people knew Chris Roberts, right? Some of these other games pop up. We don't know who the developers are, who's creating it. We just hear about the game. It looks good. We back it. But this would have been like George Lucas saying, "Hey, I'm going to start a new movie next week." George Lucas making a new movie. Oh my God, we invest some money. And that was kind of the response. Now, of course, that created a little bit of hate. But there were a lot of games that people tried to start and failed, and it wasn't because they were scamming. There are a lot of people who start doing a game thinking that they can complete it. Sometimes it's because they don't estimate the right amount of money. They think they can make it with $2 million and it actually costs $7 million, right? Sometimes there's a failure because they can't deliver in time for the publisher. Sometimes it's the fact that they can't get past the tech for what they want to do. I don't look at those as scams. I may look at them as bad business models, like what we're talking about here. People who didn't talk to the right people and bring the right people to the table, and they didn't plan well. But there were people who were putting out games that were scamming. You know what I mean? They put out a great cinematic. It looked good. And, it just went nowhere, and there were some problems, and people put in, and that's one of the reasons why, when people want to do prepay, it's like, really be careful, do your homework on companies. But I hate to say it, even the big AAA companies now, when they do that, you have to wonder, do you really want to drop that $100 prepay on a game? Yeah. What'd you say, Kelosal?
EverQuest Next.
Oh, yes.
And it flopped. I put in $200 on that mess, and it flopped. So I'm just trying to.
I think I put 75 on that. Yeah, I think I put 75 on that one. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. But thanks, guys. You guys gave some really good creative responses to that. Okay, let's hit on the next big piece of news here, which was update 3.16. People keep saying patch 3.16, and I always say update because this really wasn't a patch. It's really an update. Am I right in saying that, Kelosal?
Say it again?
It's really an update, not a patch. Right?
What, 3.16?
Well, I'm just saying, every time we move up a number, it's really an update, not a patch.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I just want to make sure I'm saying the right thing here.
I mean, patches can happen at any point in time. They're patching now, and they're not going to put out a 3.16.1 C, B, C, E, F. They're not going to keep doing that all the time. There are a lot of things that people haven't noticed, like maybe a new scenery or maybe a new improvements on graphics that wasn't a number, right? 3.16 C or things like that. So, absolutely. It's just a number.
All right.
I don't care what they call it. I lost a refinery job, so I'm salty.
All right. Well, let's take a quick look at what 3.16 looks like, and we'll talk about it.
Take me back to the river, wash away my sin. Take me back to the river, Lord, won't you help me? Find my way back home.
Those didn't make it in the game.
No.
Take me back to the river, break these chains. Oh, can you hear me? Bare my soul. I'm around. 'Cause taking its toll.
Okay, let's talk about everything except for the steel. any let me start at the bottom. Spitfire, are you back? Spitfire's still gone. Okay.
No, I'm here.
There he
Sorry.
is. Okay, no problem. Give us your thoughts about 316. Everything except for the steel. Anything that stands out for you?
Honestly, the big thing for me, okay, is Gravlev. Because there's a couple vehicles, and honestly, even the Dragonfly, which was our quote unquote functional Gravlev vehicle, you know, that I really had a problem with just this whole time that I've been a backer, loving. I'm like, I've never once wanted to go, you know, I really want to take out this Dragonfly. But this time, I really feel like I can go, you know, I will actually take out my Dragonfly now.
Okay. Cool.
Other than that, kind of a smaller patch, you know, not as or smaller update, not as feature complete. But that's okay. I mean, honestly, for me, Gravlev is a huge thing that they finally fixed, and that's going to affect. You've got the Nox Quay out now. You've got the Dragonflies. You'll have the X1s, and then you'll have whatever that new Gravlev vehicle from Consolidated is going to be.
Okay, cool. Pops, what about you? Any thoughts about 316?
Well, I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you see anything there that caught your eye in the video?
Oh, a lot of things. I'm excited about it. I just, to be perfectly, I just needed a little break from the game.
Okay.
Right now, I need to do a little bit of readjusting and all that. Cool. But I'm very excited about when I do. I'll probably jump in a few days from now.
Okay. And honestly, that was the thing with me in 314 is I'm just like, you know, I kind of want to take a break for a minute.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Go Mob, how about you?
I've played it and you know, I like it. It's you know, stable. I'm loving the fact that Jumptown is nothing like what CIG envisioned it to be. Like everybody just realizes like, wait, I mean, yeah, you're going to have some PvPers that are going to, you know, cause some drama on some servers. But every time I've been on, everybody has just been real chill. Like, all right, let's just go in here and make some money. Like we not, you know, we ain't shoot nobody. Like, hey, if you cause problems, everybody's going to.
So let me ask you a question.
It your problem.
Is that because of what's happened with medical? Because it's a pain to die now. Are people willing to let people live? It's like live and let live. Where before, people's attitudes were totally different.
I believe it's when you're looking at the pie, that may be a significant slice of it. But I think the other side of it is that it's just, if you don't, it's just easy money.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. Some people did that before. Some people would be like, as long as you declared you weren't doing nothing, you could come in and do what you want to do. My question is, when I died before, I woke up with all my stuff. When I die now, I wake up in a hospital gown. And I got to go through all this stuff to come back while you sitting there looting. I'm saying, is it, like you said, is it more like a live and let live thing? As long as y'all don't come here and start no stuff, we can all make money.
Well, if I'm coming in there to cause problems, there's a few things we can all hold true that Go Mob will do. One, I'm not going to wear any of my subscriber or expensive armor. I'm going to wear some armor that I looted off of an NPC, and I probably got 3 to 7 sets of it somewhere, right?
Okay.
Same thing with the guns.
Okay.
I'm not going to risk anything that I could possibly lose if I lose out in the fight that I pick. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing should be for the people that are out there doing it. They should not be out there in they nice, you know, queerness, you know, armors and whatnot. They should be rocking, you know, Hurston Dynamic Heavy, armor at the very best, right? You should go in there and be prepared to die. But the cool thing is that, you know, folks ain't causing no problems. They're just out there like, hey, look, it's, you know, everybody just one at a time, go in there, make your money and get out. So yeah, I think the medical gameplay and the, you know, Death of the Spaceman stuff may add a wrinkle to it, but I don't know if it's necessarily keeping people from doing what they do. I think it's the easy money aspect of it.
Well, I know Tess spent all afternoon out there fighting. That's all they did. Matter of fact, I think one of our friends told us that it took them 45 minutes to get one guy in the building because they were out there fighting all day. But that was an org.
Yeah, and you're going to have that on some servers.
I'm saying that was an org, right? I mean, that's my point. That was an org going for it. L-Doc mentioned something here. L-Doc says, nope. I think it's a rebellion by the base for CIG trying to make something that the player base did organically before. You got any thoughts on that fast card?
Yeah, I could see some people feeling that way. Maybe I don't know how long this version of Jumptown is going to stick around, but maybe a month or two after the 2.0, maybe when we get to 2.1, it'll be something. It may be something closer to what CIG wants to do, but for now, no. The player base is just going to do what they want to do. And I just have a question: is Soul Citizen safe?
For now, it is.
A Jumptown safe. And I haven't been in 316 yet because I'm on a mobile hotspot, so that's a lot of bandwidth to play H gun right now. So I haven't been in yet.
Gotcha.
Look, just get on the server with Griffin. You know what I'm saying? And as long as Griffin says, "Hey, I'm coming in," he is so respected by the good guys and bad guys alike that nobody will attack you.
Don't believe that.
And you'll be good.
Don't believe that. Do not believe that. I will say this, to your point and to L-Doc's point, this is not the end of Jumptown. Because when NPCs become involved in this, there may be what CIG has been looking for. Because right now, don't get me wrong, I know there's the organic dynamic of us as players going against each other, but like when you and I rode up in there today, there was nobody there. I could easily see NPCs being there, and we're gonna have some issues getting in. Or when we're in there doing our work, NPCs flying in, and there'll be issues there. So,
we'll NPCs flying in, shooting at your ships while they're on the ground and stuff like that. Yeah, when you start having NPCs being thrown into the mix in a fully dynamic way, right? Not just spawning in a closet and coming and shoot. So you gotta have somebody ready to shoot them,
right? Because once they start seeing those numbers on that thing start to hit, you know what I'm saying? You might realize once you start pulling stuff, you've only got so much time before whoever owns them drugs shows up. You know, I'm just saying there's a lot of different things that CIG can do. I think this is just iteration 1, and we're going to see it expand beyond that. Good, Kelosal, what are you going to say?
Yeah, so I see we're having a conversation about Jumptown and things like that, which is fantastic. But there's one thing that we haven't spotted out, and Griff, you asked a question earlier on what things that people like in 316. I want to give some love to the people that are in Arena Commander. If you haven't checked out the Dying Star map, the new Dying Star map, you need to get in there and check it out right now. Let me know. I mean, or at least clarify. This is Pyro, right? The Dying Star map?
No. It's a different system. It's a different system.
Okay, it's a different system.
Yeah.
So even with that being the case, it is immaculate. I mean, it's amazing. I have to turn the lights on when I'm playing that because there's some areas that are so dark. You know, you're hoping that a monster's not in there, like if you're playing Subnautica type deal. I mean, if you haven't played the new Dying Star map, guys, you need to get in there and play the new Dying Star map. It is amazing. It is amazing at how far.
Can I ask a question about that?
What was that?
Huh? Can I ask a question about that? I just wondered, how big is it now? Have you gone for edge to edge?
I don't know the size of it. It's big.
And I don't know how to answer that question. There's a section that looks kind of blue. There's a section of the cloud, the gas cloud looks kind of blue. When you head towards there, that you can't go really. You'll see like you're getting closer, and then you'll hit the edge, and it'll say you have a couple of seconds to turn around and get back in. So it will give you time to turn around and go back. Instead of just blowing up like the old maps used to do when you cross that little barrier, you blow up. This one here says you got this much time to turn back around, or else you will blow up, and then it blows you up after a certain amount of time. So
you don't know if the planet is a background or a real planet either.
Obviously, it's just the background.
It's far away.
Right now.
Yeah, it's far away. Fast card. It's not like something you can't fly to that. It's so far out. You know how stuff looks like it's right there, but it's like way out. I don't think you could.
Yeah, because I remember on the old map, it used to be a flat plane. So I was just wondering if they did that again. They probably did.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's quite nice.
Check
it out.
I know Dying Star It used to be in Pyro. At least I thought it was in Pyro. I thought it was like between Pyro 2 or 3 or 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 or something like that. I
thought it was Pyro.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Because, but again, I can't remember. So if anybody in chat remembers what the lore is on Dying Star, please let us know, or we could look it up real quick. But yeah, Dying Star is beautiful. You're right. When you guys go in there and take a look at it, it's amazing. And like you said, Kelosal, if they do that with other areas of space, it will be completely freaky to go into these areas. All you gotta do is put on some freaky music and it'll scare you to death from flying around.
The cloud tech is amazing, Griff. The cloud tech it gets very, very thick in certain areas, and then there's this one area where it looks like the sun is in the background, right? When you talk about that star, there's lightning. There's lightning. There's lightning. There's red sparks of lightning around there.
Solar flares.
Solar flares. And there's this one area behind this big old huge rock. It looks like the rock is burning, and you can get around it. And it's so bright. You really have to turn around because it's the color tech, the cloud tech. It's all amazing. Go in there and check it out, guys. I really think people are underestimating the Dying Star map.
Yeah.
And then the music on some of these maps, like Dying Star, and if you think about just the future places we're going to get, like Hades, like the Hades system, I want music playing in that system that is going to make me feel uneasy the entire time I am there.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure Pedro will have some really skin crawling music when it comes to some of these systems that we go into. That's a good point.
It says here
you broke up. Say it again. Okay, we're not hearing you at all, Kelosal. Your key. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry about that.
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. It says it's between Pyro 1 and Pyro 2.
Okay. So it is Pyro 1 and 2. Okay. I thought it was between, but I didn't know if it had moved or whether that was early or not because it's been so doggone long. No, that's good stuff. There was somebody who had something in the remarks that I want to see. Yeah, Quinn, we were joking around about the trip mines. Like Gomob mentioned about the fact that they're not in there yet, but they're coming in 0.1. So, I like the music, if nothing else. I dig the country music that they had here. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. Let's see, who else did I get? Fist. Your thoughts on 3.16? Anything?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
I've been really occupied with Icarus. And everything. But
it just came out. No problem.
No. I mean, because I look at it. Just to say real quick. I look at Icarus as a, I guess you could say a prelude to Star Citizen for what that dynamic brings in survival. Because it ain't no joke.
Okay. All right. Cool. Like I said, everybody needs a game to have a break from, and that's a good game to have a break, and it stays within the space genre, which is nice. So
it does, and it has those same elements that that are to come, and that are in Star Citizen as well.
Yeah, cool.
And I just wish, to be honest with you, playing it, I'm really hoping for animals and life creatures to come on board.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness, that brings such a dynamic to the game.
Yeah, Predators and Star Citizen will be amazing, right?
You oh my goodness, you ain't lying.
Still,
you talking about having your head on a swivel? Yeah.
And think about it, like Hunter, because I've been playing a little bit of Hunter Call the Wild. Okay, and I was sitting there walking through this forest and going, man, I can't wait for this in Star Citizen. This is gonna be awesome.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but it's to the thing about 316. I'm looking forward to it. I wish it was more action. Unfortunately, like Goman was saying, folks are just going in and just doing their thing, which is cool. I get it. Let's go ahead and make some money. Let me get mine, and then I sometimes you kind of got a little itch to want to PvP, throw some bullets and some bombs and stuff. Which is cool too. But I get it. That dynamic. Hey, you die. Well, which in a lot of ways, yeah, you should not go out there.
Yeah.
In your bestest, Sunday armor.
Yep.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So
if anybody ever wants action in Jumptown, they are more than welcome to come in there and start shooting.
Right, exactly. That's all you got to do. Or just type in the chat is Jumptown. What is it? Is Jumptown?
Jumptown safe.
Yeah. Watch folks show up. They'll show up. Don't worry. They'll show up.
But I'm saying, like, if you want action, bring some action.
Yeah, you can start.
Bring some action.
Yeah, you ain't got to wait.
But you better bring some folks with you because everybody else is there is going to defend.
What Chappelle say? Don't mess with a man's money, right? So that's gonna be the deal, right?
Oh yeah. And don't get me wrong. Even though it was chill, there was palpable tension because at any point in time, somebody could come in with an A2, or somebody could come in with a Redeemer, or somebody could come in with anything and start lighting everybody up, right? So there was still some tension there.
Yeah.
That you got to keep it moving and get up out of here quickly. You know, so that it was actually, even though there wasn't active fighting going on, it was still good gameplay.
And it was still nerve-wracking when we flew in because we didn't know who was there. We didn't know if somebody was up in the mountains to snipe, if there was somebody in the building, you know, even though we landed and didn't see anything. It's like, still a little nervous, you know.
Right.
And then
my thing is, I want to go in and hold it down.
You can. That's what Go Map's telling
you.
Go in there. Ain't nobody stopping you from doing that.
Just go in there and just hold it down inside of the place. Because I want to be able to go against another player.
Are you hearing what Go Map said?
I heard what he said.
There's nothing stopping you. I know. Feel free.
I know.
Because trust me, they'll be ready for you. Just make sure you're ready. Just make sure you're ready.
But y'all not hearing me though. What? I'm asking y'all, do y'all want to go do it?
No,
hold it down. Do hold it
down. Do y'all want to die with me? I mean, I'm saying, let's do it.
I am not going to Jumptown to die.
That's
with you. I'm going to Jumptown to get money.
There's not enough strategic. You know what?
Unless you're gonna share it.
If you have enough people, you can strategically hold it down. But you got to have enough people. You can't go in there with no 3 or 4 people, man. You got it. You
go in there with 10 people and say, hey, look, you got to pay. Hey, if you want to come in here and land, and hey, we'll offer you a pass for the night. Each ship gets a pass for the night for 100,000, and we split it amongst everybody. And say, hey, look, if you don't pay the toll, then you get blown up.
Okay.
But they got to.
Because my question. Okay, I got to add a question though. Since you've been in there. Okay, when you go into the facility, is there one way in, one way out?
Yes, sir.
One way in, one way out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm talking about. Let's go in. I mean, that's what I mean. You know, let's hold it down. You know, choke point.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Okay,
while that is fun, right? That can be fun gameplay. It is not profitable.
Short-lived and
short-lived. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like if one time we just said, look, I don't want to make no money. I just want to come up in here and just shoot some bullets.
All I'm saying is you could do it, but it's going to be short-lived. Ever since they came up with a grenade launcher, short-lived, brother. Short-lived.
And all I say, Fitz, is that if you do it, I'll be behind you. I'll be so far behind you, I'll be on Microtech. Okay? So, yeah.
I hear you.
All right, so I tell you what. Let's see if we can work something out tomorrow. How's that? Is that cool?
Hey, I mean, that's cool.
Or tonight, whatever.
That's cool.
We can see what we can do.
I mean, I would have to get my game up and running, but
all right. Well, okay. You let us know when. Let's go. We'll just,
I can play tomorrow.
Wake up.
Go and hit that update button now, and so it'll be ready by the time the show's over.
Yeah, we'll wake up in our gowns very quickly. All right, let's move on. I want to hit the big controversy here. The big controversy is this here. All right, let's talk about this Cutlass Steel. Let me start out at the top this time and start with Admiral Kusanagi. Admiral, what's some thoughts you have about the new Cutlass Steel?
I kind of at first I think I kind of didn't get it and I kind of disliked it. But as you can see here, I mean, its goal is like really to put down suppressive fire so you can drop in troops. And you know, in chat last night we were going back and forth in it, and it's pretty much it's almost 40% the cost of the Valk. You get almost the same amount of troop deployment capabilities and fairly comparable weaponry, but again, you don't have the mil-spec components that you would have for the the Valk, and I just think if it would complement a Kraken really good if you were gonna like go in and say, hey, we needed some money out of this outpost that we just found, and you send this ship in a couple escort ships. It just I think it's going to do very, very well in the future. And it's funny because no one complained about it being able to be half the server when the Valkyrie came in, because that actually holds more people than this ship does. So yeah.
Okay, cool. FC.
I'm surprised by the price. It is 210 Warbond and 235 with RSI price. We were talking about it last week, and we were guessing it would be between the red and the blue. Or some people were guessing it would be between the red and blue. I would think it would be more like high with the blue. So this price really surprised me for what it can do.
Yeah, I think the price surprised a lot of people. I'm in my head, I was thinking between 280 and 180 and 2. And I did not think it would get past 200. And yeah, it went to a different number than a lot of people were very surprised by.
I mean, you can basically get two black for the price of one steel. So.
Yeah. Okay. Fist.
I really don't have an opinion on, because I haven't really driven it.
Well, just give us your thoughts about what you see. Just give us what you see.
From what I could see, I mean, it has its place, it has its place. You drop in, come in, lay down suppressive fire, drop your troops off and roll. It's got the armor mechanic. Obviously, my armor is not really in yet, but I mean, I think it will. It has its place.
Okay. Okay. Come on.
Oh, I love it. It's a fantastic ship. I bought 3 of them. Everybody know that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm going to offer, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to offer a different take.
Share your thoughts.
I don't think it's necessarily meant for us, as far as in lore, as players and what we would use to in these type of situations. I believe it's a ship that fits in lore for pirates and NPCs to drop lots of troops at a location in order for us to go fight. So that's one thing that makes it make a little bit more sense to me. Secondly, I believe this is a tech test, right? How much effort does it take to slightly modify a current chassis, give it some different capabilities, and release it into the wild, right? How fast can we do that? How can we did a Cutlass Steel. Like, all right, let's see how fast we could do a Caterpillar Steel. I know, calm down. That'd be just way too crazy. But I mean, something like that, right? Can we take a ship that is currently in game, like what if we had a Constellation drop ship, right? What would it take for them to convert that cargo space over a Taurus into a drop ship type container or whatever? Could you, instead of the airlock ports, make it, machine gun ports and things like that, right? So it's a tech test to see how much effort it would take for them to make those types of changes. I do agree with a lot of people with the I think the price was just a little bit off. Like you said, everybody was thinking, right at sub 200, right? I'm thinking, maybe it's the top tier Cutlass, so maybe it's $5 premium over the blue, or like a lot of folks were thinking it was between the red and the blue, right? So it'll sit solidly around 150. At that point, I would be like, okay, yeah, I see it. But the fact that it came out so much more expensive than everyone thought, and the people that even were able to rationalize it had to go and rationalize the price, right? You had to go and really be like, but that was, when you saw the ship and what it could do, that's not the value you assessed with it, right? Nobody was saying, oh, this is going to be a $230 ship. This is how much I think it's going to be worth. So I think there's a little bit of a disconnect there, and there's some things that they may have missed on. But again, I see there's a place for it in the verse, whether it be for NPCs or whether it be to test out the technology in order to actually quickly modify current in-game chassis. So whatever. It ain't going to be in my hangar.
Real quick, I just want to say I'm looking forward to seeing Gomab praising his Ion for this Cutlass Steel. That's what I'm looking for.
Gomab, have you not seen the Steel commercial? The dropship version that's on Reddit?
The Steel. Which one?
It's
there's a Caterpillar dropship.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. When they so there 400 people.
Yeah.
It just flips them out onto the ground.
Pops, what about you? I know you haven't had a chance to get in it, but what do you think from what you see from the video?
Yeah. Griff, I want to touch on something that you said, because it really makes me think. I think what happens is, sometimes we get in with blinders on, and I think the NPC thing that you mentioned earlier is a great way to look at things. We kind of look at these ships for us, and sometimes Gomab alluded on it also. These ships is going to be filled more with them than us. And maybe that's the way we should be looking at it, and looking at how we fit in with them instead of how they fit in with us. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, because they're going to have to fly some ships too, right?
Yeah, and if we need help, this is going to be a ship that's going to come in and help us. And
Okay. Spitfire.
My biggest problem with this ship, okay, to be completely honest, it was first thing I had was sticker shock, okay? But I sat there and I thought about it, okay? And I'm like, okay, I did not buy it, by the way, just saying. But one of those, my biggest problem with this, it's not all the guns. It's not the fact of how many people it carries. It's a matter of, I think CIG missed a 0 somewhere in that ship's HP. Because it actually currently has less HP than a Cutlass Black. So yeah, you can pop that thing easy.
Yeah. Kelosal?
It's a very expensive mass med bed delivery system.
I just want to thank Wander for making me laugh. I mean, assuming that's a fully loaded ship, Wander, he says take out one steel and you have just eliminated half the server, right? As far as it currently is. So, I mean, I really can't give a really honest opinion about this ship, considering the fact that I've only flown it twice. I don't own it because this is not the type of gameplay that I'm going to invest in. So I don't even have a Valkyrie. I am not going to be a person who's going to be dropping somebody. Okay, guys, do what you got to do for the Empire, for King and Country. So that's just not me. So I like the fact that they have another variant for the Cutlass. As far as I'm concerned, they can throw out 10 more variants for the Cutlass. I would be interested to see how many different variants they're going to have for that Cutlass. That's what I would be happy about, because I think the Cutlass is that type of ship to have many variants. But once again, just like my friends here are saying, it's especially what Pops is alluding to. You just can't have a ship, and I think we saw a good example of that with the Odyssey, when so many people that we know and love, especially in Test, that came up with all these different types of conversations, and it didn't address anything of what was in the writing. You just can't have one ship that's going to do everything. So these ships are specifically designed to do what it's supposed to do, and I think CIG is on the right track with what they're trying to do. And these other players that come in here and try to say, well, it should do this, it should do that, it should do this, it should do that. That's, if you've listened to Jared multiple times, Jared will tell you over and over again in the most subtle way possible what the ships should be doing and what they're designed to do. If you don't want that ship, if that ship is not doing what you want it to do, it's not for you. Plain and simple. So I just can't speak that much to the ship because, like I said, that's not my type of gameplay. But I think they're doing good with this type of variant for the ship. I'll be happy when they put the armor tech in the game, so we can really see how much strength that ship really has in terms of its armor.
For me, I'm a logistics person. I've always said I love doing support stuff. So Valkyrie, ships like this are ships I love flying in and dropping off folks and never picking them up. 2 points about this ship, 3 points actually. Point number one, I want to back up definitely what Spitfire said. This ship is about 1,000 to 2,000 hit points less than a Cutty Black. I think that CIG needs to raise that number a bit. Personally, part of it is they said it's heavier and its performance is a little more sluggish than a Cutlass Black. So to me, that needs to be reflected in armor and not personnel. So I would love to see, if a Cutty Black is at 32,000, I would love to see this ship at about 38,000, maybe 40. The second thing I would love to see is that the shields be increased from 1 shield to 2 shields. Because the concern about a ship like this is being able to protect the people that you want to deliver in some form. And I feel like we want to have a fighting chance in doing that. I'm not looking for it for combat, even though it has missiles and some other things, but you definitely want to be able to strafe, get your people in, get out, or pick them up and get out, whatever the case may be. I do like the idea of this ship for piracy. I definitely think piracy is absolutely people who are into that type of stuff, more than commandos, because of the whole Drake, quote unquote, Drake lore about piracy and all that other stuff. Is the price point off? If they increase the shields, if they increase the armor on the ship, then I think that the price point might be closer to what it needs to be. But until they do that, I think it definitely falls short. The last thing I want to say about this ship, and this is a prediction, is that this ship is actually going to be a very favorite ship later on in the game. I think right now,
I think you're right.
We're all feeling funny about it, but I think later on, once we kind of see how this unfolds and what CIG really wants to do, I think the ship is actually going to fool a lot of us, including myself, that it's actually going to be like a ship like, wow, we need to go get 4 of those. Now, the other thing I want to say is this. They're introducing these multi-crew ships that carry a lot of people. Do you guys think that this is maybe a hint that next year CIG may increase player counts? Because to the points that have been mentioned earlier, 2 of these ships on a server, shut a server down. 25 people per ship. 2 ships and the whole servers are occupied. Do you think it is necessary for CIG to now raise player counts so that we can enjoy using ships like this in the Valkyrie in the game? And I'm going to start in the middle this time with Gomob, who's gone.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Do I think they're going to up the player count? I do. I think we're going to get server meshing next year. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to up the player count. I mean, if they don't, it's going to be a head scratcher, right? They, over the past few months, they have been doing a lot of things, and putting out a lot of stuff. Like almost, so many of the sneak peeks have been something with, Pyro or Nyx, right? With other systems that are all, we know, waiting on server meshing. Yeah. Which is what increased server counts are waiting on. You put out this ship, where, and you know what? I'm not going to say that, right? Because the Valkyrie was already there. There was already a ship in the game that took half the server in seats. You know what I'm saying? There's already a flyable ship a drop ship in the game that took half the server. So I don't put a lot of stock in that. I don't add that into the argument of, oh, you really no. That doesn't mean anything to me. The lack of HP, the Cutlass archetype of ship has always been a very versatile with specialized variant ship, right? It's always been, to me, right? Even the reds, the blues, they've been a very specialized. They have specialized variants, but they were still a very versatile ships, right? All the Cutlasses, right? I'm not talking about any other ship. I don't want all ships to do all things. Like when people are talking about the 400i needs to carry a rock, it doesn't. The 400i does what it does. I was talking about specifically the Cutlass brand of ships has always been versatile. This one is the only one that isn't, and I think that's a divergent from their design language that they've had in the past. And I'm not, I hope that they remember that and come back and make some changes to it.
Okay. Cool. Let me go to, I know Pops and Fist. Let me ask Fist, do you think that they'll do player counts? Do you think that'll raise them up next year?
I think they have to.
Okay.
To be honest, I mean, that's just my opinion. I think they have to, you know, because, you know, you have to, you know, for the gameplay that they want, you know, from Pyro and everything like that. I think they have to. I mean, as far as the technicality, I don't know and all of that stuff, but I think, to be honest with you, from gameplay side, yes, you have to.
Okay. Cool.
You know,
Pops, let me go to you next. Same thing.
Okay. I think we've seen hints of it. Like I think you've noticed it. I think all of us have noticed sometimes the server count jumps up higher than 50 or 40. And I think to all of us, we all hope so. I don't. When we last saw Tony and his team, they all alluded to it, and I think it is coming. I think it's coming next year.
Okay.
I hope it's coming next year. You know.
Okay.
You know, at least some form of it. We've seen bits and pieces of it, so that's what makes me say I think it's coming.
Okay. Spitfire.
With me, do I think they have to? No. Do I think that they should? Yes. Otherwise, I'm going to be really confused.
Okay, fair enough. Fast Cart.
Yeah, with Pop and Face and Spitfire, just I hope they do, but I don't know if they. I don't think we can take the Steel as a precursor that they will put it that way, or that would much.
Let me ask Admiral Kusanagi a different question, since he's the last person asking in Colossal. And I want to go on what Spitfire said. He said, do they have to? And the question is no. To a certain degree, I would almost say they may be right, because we've had the Valkyrie in game, and very rarely do you ever see people load up a Valkyrie with 20 people, 25 people, and go out and do stuff. So is CIG safe if they don't raise the numbers next year? I know we think that they will because of Pyro and expansion, but, you know, will it make that much of a difference? Admiral, what do you think?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. They don't have to do anything, really. They just want to make sure the server is stable to do anything. I mean, I was pushing for them to roll back the server pop on these big events, because, like, on the free fly, you know, I had 32 gigs of RAM, and I was like 90% max RAM at New Babbage. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but my computer was getting hit hard. So, you know, all the stuff loading in, all the people there, all the free to play people. So as long as the game is playable, then they can slightly increase it. I think I saw someone said here that they saw, you know, almost 60 people in a server recently, and I did see that before too, like maybe a couple months back. So yeah, they don't have to actually push anything. I think everyone wants a very stable game, no matter how many people they actually let us be able to jump in with. I mean, you know, if they release the Javelin, you know, it's like 80 people for one ship. So we need to be able to work our way up to something like that and be able to have two Javelins fighting, I guess. So we've been slow boating it for quite some time. I know everyone wants to you know, pick up the pace, and I think with Pyro coming up pretty soon, that's the case. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But I certainly don't want to get my expectations like crazy high, so that in the summer I'm like I get all disappointed. But I think we'll get there. Just, you know, I don't think it needs to happen.
Yeah. You know, let me go to Colossal in this last question. OZZ said something here that we've had this conversation in the past, but we haven't talked about it in a while. He says, would people rather have an increase in the server capacity to like 75 players, or better performance and less desync at 60 players instead? And I want to say this because from a testing standpoint, and I think that one of the issues is that people sometimes forget that this is still about testing. And some of you may remember when we first got Daymar, when we first went to our first new moon and we landed there, performance was terrible. You were getting like 8 frames a second I mean, it was really, really bad, right? Now, it would have been easy for CIG to say, well, we want you guys to see everything looking smooth and great, so let's reduce the counts on the servers, right? And the amount of people playing, so it's better. But then we're not ironing out the issue with getting the data that needs to come in. So do you think that those things are too married, Kelosal? I guess what I'm saying is the bad performance and the player count's going to have to be married together so that CIG can fix it? Or are they able to leave it at the, better performance and they can work out the player counts, later?
No, because just like in education, you don't. If you got a class, is more difficult teaching the class of 27 than it is the class of 15. Okay, and so when you're dealing with that many players, you got other type of complications that come in there, guys. You're building the game, so you got things that can go ahead and mess up one thing. We just repaired this, and then whatever you repair could have other kinks when you got other people coming in doing stupid things. How many times have you seen a player, for example? I'll go ahead and bring in when they first put in the reclaimer. Right, when they first put in the reclaimer, what did it do to the servers? They kept crashing it, and they kept telling people what? Do not spawn the reclaimer, and people did it anyways, right? So and it crashed the server. So my whole thing is, I would rather have efficiency than the numbers. Right, you don't need the numbers right now, and plus you got to also realize that they do have, this is just an opinion, but they do have other testing servers as well. They got Evocati, they got their own Q&A and things like that, where they have boosted up the numbers to high numbers at one point, and they're dropping back down. They've done it during Xenothreat. So they are in the process of doing that, not to the extent that some of us want it to be, but they have done it. They are doing it. They continue to do it. I think, honestly, is that they are preparing not for increasing the numbers. They'll get to that. But I think they're preparing for the next tech, which is, I think it's going to be armor tech. We haven't seen that in the game yet. And we've seen components now get changed at the triad that you got right now. We've seen that. We've seen videos of them talking about that if you knock off this component, it could react to different parts of the ships and things like that and so forth. We've seen all that, but we haven't seen them implement the armor tech. And now with the steel coming out, this is steel, STEEL. And if I got past your shields, then my armor, which is the steel armor, should be able to handle even ballistic weapons. I'm looking forward to that technology coming into game. And if this ship is going to have that name, I'm looking for this ship to take the pounding as they are dropping off and carrying away people, even with little to no shields.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking at this ship for. I'm looking at the ship to carry on, to move us to the next technology, which is implementing HP for the actual armor without the shields. That's what I'm looking at, and that's where I see this ship taking us towards.
Yeah. Odyssey, thanks for part 2 to that comment. You said that the more popular SC becomes, the more performance matters, because people are stupid. They don't understand that the game is still in alpha and not early access. And we've actually talked about that the better the game gets, the more people will actually think of it as a real game, right? They will forget that this game is still in development, which is, has its pluses and minuses, right? It's great that we're getting better performance, but then when something goes wrong, because they don't know the history and they don't know the development cycle, they kind of freak out, like, what's wrong with this game? I don't want to play it anymore, because they don't realize that we are still in that development process. So thank you for raising that as an observation.
I think as long as they don't have a significant regression in performance, right? And you add player counts, because I do think adding player counts is going to be crucial. I think they're going to have to add those counts, look at the data, and optimize, and continue to go through that cycle until we are in a true MMO type environment, right? They it doesn't matter if right now it doesn't, if you got 2 systems or 3 systems in the game and you got 50 people, that's right, and it runs like butter, you'll never see anybody.
Ghost Town, right? It's Ghost Town already.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to expand the number of people in the game, right? there can't be a significant regression in performance, right? If new Babbage still, causes your computer to smoke, if it caused you to smoke it before, then it'll cause you to smoke then, right? But then they need to continuously still, work on the back end stuff in order to improve performance, work on the renderers and all that other stuff in order to improve performance. But they have to grow the server count. We have to get to 1,000. We got to get to 1,000, or it's not going to work. Yeah,
correct. Let me ask you a question. This is just one of those out there questions. Do you expand it now at one system, or do you expand it when you get a second system in?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Second system. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Second system.
Well, I think if they had server meshing come in, right? I think they release server meshing with one system and expand it within that system, right? It becomes a stress. It stresses the current system. They get data. They're able to optimize, because guess what? Every time you have an event or something of importance happening on a system, the majority of your players are going to gravitate towards that system. So it doesn't matter if you've got Jumptown where everybody can make $1 million every 30 minutes, right? Happening in Stanton. If you got Pyro and Nix out there, and it's a struggle to just survive. The most of your people are going to be where the money's at. Yeah. So you got to make sure that you're able to expand in a smaller area where you start having the server meshing, where you have those server nodes taking care of just Lyria, right? You have a server for just Lyria, or even a server for just the area around the Jumptown production site, because that's where most of the people are going to be. That's the technology that we have to put in order to start adding more and more people. Then once you have servers, it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. Once you have different systems, it's just wash, rinse, repeat, and it'll just spread out from there. So.
Fair enough.
They got to do that first.
Do you think they can release Pyro without the jump point, or do they need the jump point to do Pyro?
Oh, they got to have a jump point.
Oh, it's the jump point.
The jump points. I think the jump points are done.
Yeah, that's not even an issue. Yeah, the jump point's not a big deal. Yeah.
How is it not if you can't get to the system in the first place because there's no jump point?
I think a jump point is done. It's you start here, you end there, and they set your speed and you go, right? I mean,
at the jump point though, they said you have to take a mini game. If you're not careful, you could die off the side of it.
It's just a navigation, right? It's nothing really new.
But here's the deal: none of the navigation stuff is in the game yet to navigate a jump point. So until that has been implemented, they could make it a tier 1 type of thing, where you just enter it, you come out on the other side, and that's it.
Like a quantum travel.
Right, because they've got to still build all that in. Yeah, Ring.
Everything we've seen is, here is jump point, go jump point, ride little wave and follow the little particles and come out the other side.
I'm referring to the component dynamics in the ships, like the navigation in the sense of, in the Carrot, for example. There is a computer that allows you to navigate, record, and remembers that once you've done that, it's automatically built in. You can still manually do it. Yes, to your point. I'm just saying all of that dynamic is yet to be put into the game. So I'm just saying it will grow. That's all I'm saying. The dynamic of traveling between worm points can start someplace and then they can build on it as they go. Hey, Buster, thank you so much for the host. And welcome, Rain, guys. Rain dropped in on us tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Rain.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, Rain.
I actually came in because I saw y'all looking at the steel. And I have some words.
Okay, well, go ahead and say them because we're getting ready to change
I have some words, and I don't know if I'm the one being contrarian tonight, but $235 for this thing?
Yeah, we've been on that. We've been on that conversation.
Goddamn kidding me! What in the world were you thinking? That is, you're telling me that because you bolted some guns, another turret, and a whole bunch of seats to a Cuddy Black, that it's worth almost as much as a Connie Andromeda?
At this point in time, we can say that, but I also think that the armor is going to be put in place once they put that in place too as well. I think a lot of people are forgetting that name Steel means a lot. It's not just there just as a,
I mean,
yeah, we talked about the fact that at the price point, everybody agrees the price point is way above point. We said if they do some modifications and tweaking to the ship, such as the steel armor, making more shields, they could raise that value up. But right now, you're absolutely right. We all agreed that the numbers ain't right, because we all thought it was going to be less than $200. We all did.
Shields and armors for regretting your decisions, and for everybody else, there's Drake.
Mm-hmm. I have to say that TIG, the crowdfunding only raised $380,000 yesterday after the release, so it's not selling as well.
You all ODZ said you guys are misjudging the Cutlass Steel's cost. To be honest, it's a great stocking stuffer. There you go.
That's right. No cold.
There's your
you
answer
fly
for
on the
that.
Drake, you die on the Drake,
Don't
buddy.
start.
Just tell you that.
Don't start.
Hey, look,
with
I'm a grill master, man. I'd rather take a lump of coal. I can use that to make some sweet meat.
Okay. All right. Listen, we're getting ready to hit our Machinima. I have some awesome news about this Machinima. Some of you will remember that last week we watched the Machinima called Chronicles of Stanton. We saw episode 1. We thought it was cool, but we all gave, and by the way, Fist to Face, this is for you in particular. We all talked about how there were some things that they could do to make it better. If they did this and this and this and this and this, then it would be cool. If they did this. I don't know. I don't think they heard us because this video came out, but they heard us. Everything that we said last week is in this video. So I'm so excited to show it to you all, because this is a totally different. The director, whoever did this, they went back. I'm sure they went back and did a little bit of tweaking, reassessing. They may have had this in mind already, but I am just so excited to show this one to you guys, because it's a continuation from the one we saw last week. So let's take a look at it, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
Oxygen level critical. Action required. Wake up. Oxygen level critical. Action required. Oxygen at 23%. I read at least 4 biosignatures in the vicinity, possibly more on the other levels.
I know, right? You guys are fucking time bomb. Someone should set it straight.
I'd like to see the person who dares that. Fucking lunatic.
One of these days, I'll tell you. You get some.
Scanning. No weapon signatures found in this room. Connecting to Farnsworth mainframe. Connection not available at this time. Connecting to. Mind you fucking business mainframe. Access denied. Access granted. Connected. Location. Houston. Coordinates 64.054 north, 34.678 east. Beacon activated. ID confirmed. It's Mary.
My apologies for keeping you here, Mr. Kane. I think we have everything we need now. I'm sure someone from Schenker will be in touch with you shortly to fulfill the necessary paperwork regarding your insurance and so forth, but you're free to leave here to your convenience.
Sir, I have the bounty information on all Ninetales associates, logged and mapped for your convenience. Happy hunting, Endo.
And I promise you.
Okay. We're back. We're back. Let me jump down to Spitfire first. Spitfire, any thoughts on this particular Machinima episode 2?
Honestly, my thing is every time I see a new Machinima, which because I didn't see the first episode of this. This is my first exposure to this particular one, but I'm always amazed at what people can do with a little bit of time and Star Citizen, you know.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Let me jump up to Admiral Kusanagi.
Yeah, I'm back. I thought it was extremely good. I think he needs to see some PTSD person. Yeah, it was a little. I guess the ending was kind of like solved everything, because in the beginning you didn't know why he was there or how long, and then who these people were. So, and I didn't even know if they actually shut down the ship. I wasn't sure if they just came upon his ship. So yeah, but I thought it was very good. It explained a lot at the end. So that was
okay. Rain.
First of all, this was done in 312.
Yep.
As you can see, and that's really interesting. And what I love about this is there's some fiction here, but not really, because I've snuck onto somebody else's ship and stole it. I've snuck around and gunned some people down and stole their stuff before. Like, I love how this is little bits of the fiction, like, his character's backstory of having been an OST that fought Vandul and, was trying to have a different life on this, little freighter, the freighter ship instead. And there's obviously a lot to read into, like the person that was dead was obviously somebody he cared about. And now he's going off to be a bounty hunter to get vengeance on the whole of the Ninetales. I love that, but I also love how much of a display of, hey, this is Star Citizen. This can happen. You can do this. All of it. And I think that's fantastic.
Very cool. We've got Buster, the Destroyer, joining us. Buster, are you there? Hey, are you there? Are you unmuted?
Yeah.
Yes. How are you?
I was literally just about to put a pot in the dishwasher here at work.
Did you get to see any of the Machinima there?
Yeah, I was listening to it, and I was bustling around the office doing a few things, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I liked a lot of the camera work. I thought it was very excellent, and that's the kind of stuff I generally look at. I mean, the story and all that is great, but I'm the kind of person who's like, oh, I'm gonna look at how this was filmed and things like that with any media I watch. And so it's like my roommate and I will sit there and be like, oh, that was a good shot. That was so good. I wonder who did that shot. That was really good. Where did they scout that location? But that I thought a lot of the cinematography in it that I was catching as I was walking by my computer was really, really, really beautiful.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Pops.
Yeah, like the again what Admiral Buster said, the shots. Some of the shots make you think how they got them. The storyline, it did like Admiral said. You were wondering why in the beginning, what's going on, but the end tied it together. The music fit better in the storyline. It was pretty much the way it should be. This one, it was good.
Okay. Cool. FC, you found this series last week. We saw episode 1 last week. We watched episode 2 this week. Did we lose?
Oh yeah. I like the musical choice. I think basically the music was way better than last week. Unfortunately, I'm watching this in 160p, so I wasn't able to get the full benefit of seeing the whole thing.
Gotcha.
But I couldn't tell how this one connected to the last one, unless I missed something because I was buffing sometime.
Okay.
Oh, they actually working? Oh, I didn't get that. Yeah, I was trying to.
Right. Well, we don't know yet. That's just it because it's still unfolding. Okay. You know what I mean? So this might be a second, like that other one where it's different people. Maybe it'll connect later. We'll find out.
Okay, because absolutely they're not connected.
Yeah.
Not right now. Right now.
Fist?
Yes. Okay. So besides the cinematography, we know, Star Citizen folks are getting great at cinematography, shots, and all of that. I want to point out this, though. With the comment that I made from the last video and to this one about the audio, listening, because as you can see that this is a silent film from your main character, but using the audio to build crescendos, to then using the action cues, all of that stuff told the story, because without that, you wouldn't get that. And I have to give him kudos on that for picking that up in this type of film, and that's my 2 cents on that one, because everything else was great, did great,
I know last week that was the thing you all mentioned about some of the music didn't fit the scenes necessarily, but this one felt better this time around, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Gomob.
Yeah, man. I thought it was really good. It was clear that he didn't know who they were. He didn't know what they wanted. But what he did have was a very particular set of skills that he acquired over a very long career. Skills that make him a nightmare for people like them. He will look for them. He will find them, and he will kill them. Okay. He is Liam Neeson in Taken.
Okay. Fair enough.
Gave him the title of Deck Sergeant.
Colossal. What'd you think, Colossal? What'd you think of this one?
I mean, other than the title, other than his position, because if he had a previous position when Vandal came down and things like that, how in the world did he get that title of deckhand or whatever you call it, deck sergeant, whatever you call it?
No, deck officer. That's a thing. That's actually a thing.
That's a position, right?
Yeah, that's a real position.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he got that title, because that position isn't a high position, is it?
Deck officers are actually licensed mariners that work with Military Sea Lift Command and STCW Command, and they're commanded by the ship's captain.
So, do they have a high position within that title?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the other thing, I'm just being technical here. All this was on Hurston.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Okay. I was being technical on that one because he had to take an oxygen thing, and I thought Hurston was had got a little bit of problems with the air, but it's still breathable. So that's the only technicality I have. Other than that, not bad. I'm glad Fastcard gave me a little bit of insight as to part 1. Maybe I will need to look at part 1 to get the rest of them when they put the rest of them in play. But as of right now, considering the fact that it didn't have that much of a bearing in it dealing with this specific machinima, not bad at all.
Yeah.
Very well thought out and very well scripted. Good job for these people.
I would say what impressed me, it was a good machinima. Definitely improved from the last one. I like the story. But I was pretty fascinated with the fact that they shot so much of this in the dark and you could still see. It's not like when you're shooting a film in the dark and you've got lights and you can light it. You can't light these scenes. So the fact that they, whether it was by use of gamma or whatever, but you could see what was going on. I mean, there's a moodiness to it, definitely darkness there, but you could still see things. And that's a point that Fitz mentioned. The music definitely had a huge impact on it, particularly when he went into a rage, when he was on the the prowl to kill these people. So there was a lot of great stuff in this one. So I'm looking forward to a part 3 for this. And again, I thought it was a great Machinima. So Fast Card, again, thank you for last week suggesting this one. And I don't know if there's a part 3 yet. I'll have to go back and look. I knew there was a 1 and 2. So I'll go back and check and see.
And
now, one thing I will say real quick that I don't think anybody spoke on. One of the really cool things that I liked about this Machinima is that they added features that aren't currently in the game into it. Like he was able to pull up his mobile glass and was scanning for weapon signatures, and his AI was constantly talking to him and communicating with him and giving him intel as to this. Yeah, it's kind of like a Cortana situation. Yeah, so I like that, right? They say, hey, look, in this situation, what would screw what the game has available to it right now. What would this situation be like in real time, in real life? Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Brain, were you going to say?
Yeah, just real quick too about the whole deck officer thing. I do want to remind people in the future that sometimes just because you've never heard of a thing, obviously doesn't mean it's not real or it's the wrong thing to say. And sometimes people know, as somebody who was in the Navy and dealt with military seal of command, it's really cool to see even that little tiny detail of deck officer, which is usually like your first mate, second mate, your captain, things like that. And there's different ratings for the officers and the ratings, as we call them, stewards and things like that. So like it's really interesting to see when people actually go out and do their research, or it makes me think, like, was this person in the Navy? Were they military seal of command, or did they just go do their research? Because when people find that, it's like, hey, that's really cool. A lot of people aren't going to know that that's a thing. So I think it's interesting. Yeah.
And that's good, Ryan, because I think in the Star Citizen lore, they put out, I don't know if it's on CIG's webpage or Robert Space Industries, there is exactly what you're talking about for each ranking for each part of the Empire or things like that. And I didn't see the title of deck officer in there. That's why I was asking where were they specifically in terms of ranking? How high were they? Are they above Master Sergeant or things like that, and so forth and so forth? Yeah.
They're leadership. Deck officers are leadership. So it's the captain, first mate, second mate, third mate, and a cadet is also considered your deck officer, and then everybody else is below that.
I think what this reminded me of was I'm trying to think of the name of the film. Remember the Steven Seagal movie where he was the cook? Yeah,
he was the cook.
That was the comparison that I drew from this.
It's also the Star Wars.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there was this assumption because this guy was much deeper in than what people thought he was, and I got the impression that this new title of deck officer was maybe what he was given for now, but when they referenced back to no, that's not. He's way more than that, because he corrected the cadet by saying, nah, he's way more than that, and I remember that. What was the name of that movie?
He's the master. Under Siege. Under Siege is the name of the movie.
Under Siege. Yes. He had the highest level clearance there was, but they had given him a lower position for reasons, right? There were reasons why, and that kind of made me a throwback to that film for me. So
I just looked, and there's no part 3 yet.
There's no what?
No part 3.
Part 3.
Oh, there's no part 3. Okay, all right. Well, maybe they'll make one. We'll see. Okay, well, I'm glad that we got a chance to watch this. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Soul Talk. This is the last one for 2021. We are going to be on vacation and on break like everyone else and like CIG until January the 9th. We will be back then. We will be starting off with a whole new series of shows in that month. I'm not going to go down that long list, but we are going to have a lot of fun. We've got a real exciting guest that's going to be coming up too, which I wish I could tell you guys so much, but I haven't confirmed a date yet. But we've got a really, really cool guest that's going to be coming onto the show and talking to us about, I'll just say this, they'll be talking to us about Star Citizen, and they'll be talking to us about Elite Dangerous. That's what I'm going to throw out there.
I can say who it is. I can say it'll be Leroy Jenkins.
You're right, Leroy Jenkins.
You shorten that Leroy up too much, man. You gotta let that ride.
Oh, no,
Leroy!
please don't. No, please don't. Please don't. All right. Listen, thank you. I want to thank everybody who is here tonight. We want to thank you guys for supporting us this year. This was a new branch of the show. We went from Friday Night Live into this Thursday framework of doing Soul Talk, and you guys have really been supportive in getting the word out, and we really, 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 really appreciate it. We also want to once again we'll tell you guys we appreciate you guys getting us over our 1,000 mark with YouTube, and that has just been awesome. So you guys gave us wonderful holiday presents for this year, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys in the year of 2022. To everybody who's in chat, Admiral Kusanagi, to Buster, to Fistaface, to Pops in Space, to Rain, to Spitfire, and to my soul team of Fast Cart and Gomob and Kelosal, my co-host tonight. We want to wish you guys a very happy holidays, very restful. Please take care of yourself, stay well, and we will see you guys in what year are we going to see him, Kelosal? I'm going to see him in
2022.
2022. Boy, it's kind of scary to think that that's literally.
It's 20. Excuse you. It's 2952.
2952.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. 2952.
So, y'all need to get your time right. I'm just saying.
2952. Okay, well, thank you, Buster, for correcting us.
Hopefully, we get to see each other this year. Hopefully.
Yeah. We got to do Citizen Con and all that other good stuff this year, right? Because that's something we got to do. All right, Admiral Kusanagi, is that raid you're telling for Billy Jack Gaming? Is that who we're going to?
Yes, it is. He's just reloading his game right now. He just had to get out of it, so he's giving him 30 seconds. He should be back into it.
All right. Well,
I hope everybody just say hi. And this is his first week playing Star Citizen, so give him your love.
Yes, give some shout outs. Give some shout outs. All right, Billy Jack Gaming. All right, guys, until 2951. Peace, love, and soul. We'll see you guys next year. Take care of yourselves and have a great holiday.